Joe Pepitone, have there been any significant changes since Whitey Lockman took over the team?
Well, I would have to say, Leo did a great job while he was here, and I've had my problems with Leo on the field, but it wasn't that bad. Where the guy had where they might blame that's why he got fired or something like that. Whitey Lockman is a quiet man. He tries to get to know all the ball players as individuals, not as he doesn't treat everybody the same way. He treats every person different, and this is the way you have to treat a ball club. And Whitey's just done a fantastic job. He'll grab you in the office, put you in the office, says, "You want to talk about something, about anything?" And this is the way he is, and that's I think that's good in a manager to get to know his ball players personally, and he's just a real great guy. He's like one of the team, just like a ball player on a club. That's the way he acts.
Is this what the Cubs need?
I think the Cubs need some runs and some everything, but I don't think a manager wins that many ball games for a club or loses that many ball games for a club. I think it's the club that does it, and Whitey's good, and he's going to help the club. I know that. And that's the only thing I can say in that respect. But you need the runs and you need the pitching in order to win, and this is and a little bit of luck, and this is what we really haven't really been getting.
Now, do you feel that you're butting your head against the stone wall in the National League East, especially with Pittsburgh playing as consistently as they are?
Well, when you get a club like Pittsburgh, I was like the same way when I was with the Yankees in 1962 and 63 and 64. You dominated the league. You were just so overpowering. You hit the long ball. The sliding runs would be on a home run ball, and they got the power. They got the bench strength, and they're tremendous on the bench, which is a big help. Their pitching is real good, and they're going to be hard to beat. And when you're 12 games out with like 40 games to go, it's tough to catch a ball club like that, really.
Now, from a personal standpoint, is Joe Pepitone saddle joy?
I think that's the only way to go.
Joe, thank you very much, and good luck to the Cubs.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Tell me when. Whitey Lockman, since taking over the Cubs, have there been any significant changes?
Tom, not in our personnel. We didn't feel that we needed to change the club drastically. We thought we had a very sound ball club, a veteran club, not a group of players that are past their peak by any means. Some veteran players like Billy Williams, Ron Santo, Joe Pepitone, Jim Hickman, and those type fellows who are not past their peak by any means but can play very good baseball for many years to come. We have made a couple of minor changes. Just today, we traded Tommy Davis to Baltimore for Ellie Hendricks, a catcher. And we released Steve Hamilton, a pitcher, and we'll activate Juan Pizarro, who's been on the disabled list. But we felt we had a sound club, Tom, and didn't want to, make any drastic changes in the personnel.
Well, Whitey, what would be your philosophy of managing as opposed to the departed Leo DeRocha?
Well, I don't know if it'll be that much different, actually, Tom, because we were together 7.5 years. I played for him and coached for him for a year. So I'm sure that some of his philosophy and some of his techniques will be incorporated in my managing. I will not try to copy him by any means. I don't think anyone can do that and do it successfully. There was only one Leo DeRocher. His name was synonymous with winning baseball. He was quite a man. But having been associated with him for many years, I'm sure that some of his techniques did rub off on me, and I'll probably incorporate some of them in my managing.
Whitey, I'm sure you'll agree with me that the Cubs are one of the most talented teams in the league, but you're fighting the Pittsburgh Pirates. Are they that powerful that you're butting your head against a stone wall?
I keep telling myself that they can't be that, Tom, but evidently they are a very strong club, and we haven't played poorly by any means in the last, let's see, we're 13-10. Which is 3 over in the last 23 games, yet we've lost ground to them. And they just keep coming at you, and scoring runs. Stargell hits a home run in the 8th or 9th inning to beat you every other day or so, and they're just a tremendous club. And we're just going to have to, try to improve ourselves during the winter, to improve ourselves enough to catch up to them, because it doesn't look like they're going to come down to meet us.
Now, Whitey, if you could add ingredients to this team to make them true contenders, what were some of the... Let's do that once more. Whitey, if you would add ingredients to make this team a true contender, what would be some of the changes that you would make?
Well, it's very difficult to say, Tom. I think, you start to have a strong club, you have to start with the pitching. And I think we would try to improve our pitching staff as much as we possibly could. And I think maybe change the way we play the game to a certain extent as far as adding some speed and playing for 1 or 2 runs more so than trying to get a guy or two on and laying back for a home run, which, doesn't come often enough usually. So I think in the pitching and in speed, we would try to improve.
Well, Whitey, it's a good three-game series going against the Dodgers here. How do you match up against our Los Angeles team?
Well, I think favorably. They're a good ball club and have a tremendous manager, and Walter Alston, of course, and they seem to be playing all right. And we've got Fergie Jenkins going against Bill Singer tonight, and we'll have Bert Hooten, our young pitcher, going tomorrow. So I think it'll be a good series, and I think we can play them pretty well even.
Whitey, good luck to you while in Los Angeles, and let's catch up on those Pirates, huh?
I hope we can, Tom. Thank you.
Billy, would you consider this one of your better years?
Well, I think so at this point, Tom. I'm really feeling good now. I'm hitting the ball real solid, and of course, I could look back on my year I had in 1970, which I consider one of the better years I had in the big league. But at this point, I'm hitting the ball real well, and my only thing wrong now, my average is up. That means I'm making a little more contact than I did then.
Are you doing anything differently this year? Are you more aggressive at the batter's box?
Not necessarily. I think it all comes with the experience, Tom. When you're playing the big league for a while, and you get a chance to know the pitches. Although you're gonna have a few pitches coming to the big league that you don't know, but the most important thing is just trying to give 100%, get your best, and try to get strikes at the plate to hit.
Billy, if you will, go over your various abilities. First of all, as a fielder, how would you describe yourself?
Well, I think, at this point, being 34 years old, all the ball games I've played in, I managed to slow down a little bit on the field, but I could make up for it, with our speed. I still run pretty good in the field, and, of course, I have I guess, about an average arm, and, it's a lot of things that I could do in the outfield that an ordinary player, when he comes up to the big leagues, he's a young ball player, but all this comes with experience. As I say, as you play baseball, you get to know the hitters. That way you won't be moving when the pitch is pitched. That way you won't have to run as far to get a ball, catch a ball, and it's just knowing the hitters and where they play out there.
And what about your batting?
Well, the batting, I guess that's about average too. But, I feel that in the games I play, I feel that I've helped my ball club win a lot of ball games, and I feel that there's a lot more to learn as a hitter. You never learn too much in anything. So I feel that I could, every time I go up to the plate, I'm trying to learn something from the pitcher, where he's releasing the ball from, how do he hold his breaking ball, different things you learn.
Do you feel that it's a pitcher's league or it's a pitcher's game this year? Does the pitcher have a significant advantage over the batter?
Well, I feel the first of the year, right after we leave spring training, and when the weather's not too presentable to play in, like in Chicago, we have that type of weather. I don't think it's baseball condition. We get back, the temperature is about 40 degrees, and you don't feel like swinging the bat up there because if you hit the ball solid or hit it on the end, you're going to get bees in your hand. And you always feel that the pitcher have the edge on the hitters at that particular time, I guess about 2 months of the season. And all of a sudden, the hitting begin to come around, and they start getting the base hits. But I feel overall that pitching is about 75% of the game, and they always say good pitching stop good hitting, so I really believe that.
What are the needs of the Chicago Cubs to be contenders? You're facing a very tough National League East and a Pittsburgh Pirate team that seems to have very few weaknesses.
That's right. When you mention they don't have very few weaknesses, because we've seen them a couple of times this year, and they just have a real tight ball club. They got 9 guys they could put on the field, and of course, if those guys get tired, they could take 9 guys off the bench and put on the field, and they play just as better baseball than they have on the field. But in speaking of our ball club, I think the most important thing, we got to have a little more relief help from the pitchers. They've been doing a real good job. And but hitting, I think we don't have a solid team as a part. We got 9 guys we could put on the field, but I always say you got to have 25 guys to win a pennant.